The embodiment of hatred, anger, and passion throughout the galaxy serves as a powerful weapon for the Sith in Star Wars. Whether it was Sidious, Darth Vader, Count Dooku, or Darth Maul, everyone had their favorite Sith Lord who displayed its chilling power in full force. Whoever your favorite Sith may be, they all have one fear in common. The 2015 Darth Vader comic series contained a revealing monologue about the nature of the Sith from Emperor Palpatine. As Palpatine himself explained, he was the first one in untold history to restore the Sith to a place of power. The events of the Clone Wars turned out to be one great machination set up by Palpatine from the start, as the Sith Lord manipulated the factions on every side of the war to crumble any power he did not possess while fortifying that which he had. But why didn't Sidious use more Sith to enact his plan? That's the very question Palpatine answers as he explains the philosophy behind the Rule of Two. 1,000 years before the events of the Phantom Menace, there existed a mighty Sith empire that struggled with the Republic for dominance over the galaxy. At that point in time, the Sith Order numbered in the thousands, if not perhaps the millions, raised entire armies in their name, and held many worlds under their iron-fisted dominion. The Republic and the Jedi Knights battled the Sith ferociously in order to free the galaxy from their tyranny, ultimately exterminating their order. It is supposed that the Sith's greed came over them, and with that, the ranks swelled, so did infighting, which weakened them to the point where the Jedi could defeat them. The survival of the Sith hinged upon one alone, Darth Bane. Convinced that the Sith had compromised too much of their connection with the dark side and accepting so many into their ranks, Bane established the so-called Rule of Two, a guideline stating that from this point forward there should only be ever two Sith Lords, one master and one apprentice, one to embody power and one to crave it. This would ensure several things. First, that the dark side was focused squarely on two individuals of immense power rather than armies of mediocre warriors. Second, their survival for centuries to come by permitting them to slip under the Jedi's radar. Third, a reconstructing of their ideology such that it was to pass down the Sith's secrets and the Order's new ultimate mission. In-universe, the Rule 2 serves as the justification for why there are so few Sith at any one time, with only two dark side users owning the title simultaneously. One acts as a master while the other serves as apprentice, and though Palpatine and Darth Vader serve as preeminent examples of the Rule of Two in action, there are a whole line of predecessors prior to Vader that claim the title of apprentice. In an insightful speech, Palpatine explains why. After saying that the Sith remained hidden for years out of fear, not of the Jedi, but of themselves, Palpatine proclaimed that the dark side is powerful. It is too powerful. He then goes into detail how its temptations and greedy hunger for power so often proves its downfall in the ages before Palpatine's rule. The torturer's grind for power proves to be exactly what Palpatine claims makes Sith so strong, but also proves their own downfall as they claw past one another toward the top of the food chain. You can see this with Maul during the Clone Wars after Sidious moves on to find another apprentice, aka Count Dooku, after he thinks Maul died from his fall. Maul wants revenge because he realized he was just Palpatine's pawn in a much larger plan. He had joined the Sith with the belief that he would rule the galaxy alongside his master, not be cast aside and replaced. He wanted to kill Anakin so he could foil his master's plan. He had more sense this time, and he knew he couldn't possibly defeat the Sith on his own, so he asked for help of Ahsoka Tano. That didn't end up working because she refused to fight her master, and didn't believe a word Maul said. So going back, Maul refused to die, came back stronger with his own apprentice, and took over a neutral system in the name of revenge against his previous master? Oh, and we can't forget his ultimate revenge against Kenobi. After Sidious finds out his old apprentice is back to take him down, he flies to Mandalore where Maul is situated and makes sure he knows his place. Sidious knew that if he left Maul alone, he would have been a major threat to his master plan and to him. So in the Clone Wars episode Lawless, he acknowledges to Maul that he's a threat, tortures him to the point where Maul begs for mercy, and tells him he has a bigger plan than just killing him. Sidious also does this with Darth Vader. Sidious knew that Vader was already stronger than him. Anakin knew this as well, as he told Padme and Mustafar that he could overthrow the Emperor. And Anakin didn't really want to be under Palpatine. All he wanted was to learn the Sith ways to save Padme from death, but he really failed on that one. After Anakin was burned and brought back to be fixed up and healed, Sidious designed Vader's suit to restrict him and have him in constant suffering. To wear the suit was painful for Vader, from the itchy synthetic skin, to the loud sound of respiratory, to all the needles and pins penetrating his body. This pain kept him awake when he tried to sleep, and detrimentally affected his sanity. This is exactly what Darth Sidious intended, rather than a far more upgraded suit akin to General Grievous's cybernetics, which would have been perfectly possible. The less calm and comfortable Vader was, the angrier and closer he was to the dark side, and the rage filled his powers. Sidious even designed his suit to short-circuit if Vader ever tried using Force Lightning, in fear that he would use it against him one day. So in all, to enact his plans, Palpatine realized that he did not need more Sith, saying that he learned to use those who were not Sith to achieve his aims. Indeed, his manipulation of the Senate, the Clone Wars, and many of the power players on all sides of the war proved its success. Of course, that's not to say there weren't plenty of Sith in training prior to Vader, but Palpatine explained that they were all experiments building towards one individual strong enough and worthy enough to carry the weight of the Empire on his back. That individual Palpatine proclaimed was Darth Vader, and it all came forged out of the fear of themselves that made the Rule 2 such a darkly effective process.